From Jacksonville, Florida, who made Celia's intro video. Here we go.
I'm a pure worker, and I'm here to show you the ropes and make sure you don't get into any trouble. Are you ready?
Stop trying, stop
and I'm going to be the best mum that I can be. I didn't come here for brownie points. I'm looking after the girls. Please want our help with the case. You killed the wrong person, you fucking psycho. I am not to be underestimated.
You've developed a type of a younger onset dementia.
I don't want to suffer. It's so amazing how sweet life can be when your mind's clear. Share who senses. You just always go. That's a good thing. Because this ain't a nice to do.
There you go. You get the mic on, Nate? Thank you. Nathan, you get mic 2 on?
Has it got it on?
Yeah, sure. All right, we're going to give you this one.
Hello? Can you hear me now? Can I just, before we start, can I just say an enormous thank you to all you guys for making the effort to come, and thank you to Kiana and the team for putting this event on. You can't underestimate how powerful it is for us to be here with you. And it's kind of really emotional because we're in your living rooms for 7 seasons, taking you with us on these journeys that the characters are on, and it's really powerful and it's really, you know, affecting. And so it's so lovely to be with a bunch of people who love what we do as much as we love it. So thank you so much. It's fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you also for coming. Let's give it up for Celia. That was a fun way to transition from the saddest video ever, I think. But we're going to talk about the show and your awesome character with some of your biggest fans and supporters. We've got them lined up here to ask some questions. We'll bring them up right here, so you don't have to. Let's get it right here.
Fantastic.
What's your name and where are you from?
My name's Yolanda, and I'm from Baldwin Park.
How are you, darling?
Thank you. My question is, how intense was it to film the part where, which was one of my favorites, when you put Boomer's mom in her place.
You know what? I loved it. I loved it because the whole time, as you guys know, Liz is really like a den mother, and she's very maternal and pretty composed and restrained. She's not like Kaz or B or Frankie, who's also, or Boomer, always punchy someone's titty. So for Liz to have a moment where she gets, you know, it was great. It was so much fun. You could tell, I really enjoyed it. I revelled in it. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, and I think for Liz and Boomer, it was a really critical point where Liz put a line in the sand, because up until that point, she defends the mother and says, oh, hey, you know, she's like me, she's a drinker, I was a drinker, have some compassion for your mum, which is what we all want to do, yeah. That's what, in life, we hope we can give people second chances, but Liz just is like, you've got to stop now. You know, when she starts hitting with that shoe, it's like, this is, you have to stop. So it was a really, and then that, I mean, one of my favourite scenes is after that, where Boomer and Liz are in Boomer's cell. I'm going to give it to you. And Katrina says, you know, as Boomer, she says, I wish you were my mum. It's beautiful. I love Katrina. She's so, it's so, thank you. That's a really great question. Thank you, darling.
Next question.
My name is Nicolina.
Hi, darling.
Yoda. And my question for you is, who are your biggest inspirations?
Wow, what a great question. Who's my biggest inspiration? This is going to sound corny, but I just think everybody, like, for me as an actor, the most powerful thing you can do is be truthful and tell the truth as an actor and listen to the other actors in the scene and be in the moment with them. So people's work I really admire. I think Meryl Streep is incredible. I think I am absolutely in love with and fangirling over Timothy Chalamet. You know, the young...
Me too.
He is that guy. You've got to watch The King, because it's written and directed by an Australian, and yeah, it's great. It's The King on Netflix. People who are brave and who are real, I guess, and truthful. So there's so many. But yeah, it's a good question. And the other cast members. I mean, you know, really working with Katrina and Tammy and Danielle and Libby, and they're really great at what they do. So they're inspiring, absolutely. It's a lovely question. Thank you. Thanks so much. So exciting.
We have our next question here. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, Celia.
Hi.
I'm Judy.
Yeah, Mom!
My daughter and I made it here from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Pardon? Say that again.
We're from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay.
So my question to you is kind of twofold.
Yep.
I loved your character for the Alzheimer's dementia.
Yeah.
My mother passed 3 years ago, not to sad in the room, but...
No, I'm sorry. There's probably a few
so
people here.
I was just wondering if you had to do research into that character, and then also my question to you is, would you be my mom?
I can be your mum. I have two beautiful girls, so I get the heart thing. Look, the dementia storyline was really interesting because when the producer originally pitched it to me, I was a little bit like, oh gosh, that's kind of only going to end in one way. and also because it was younger onset, which is more rapid, the progression is really quick. Some of you, I'm sure, have experience of it, direct and indirect. So yeah, I did a little bit of research, read up on it, and I met a fabulous guy called Russell who was probably early 50s, was diagnosed with the same condition 6 years earlier, and he was really great at telling me about how it affected his daily life and how the confidence level can drop and so many things just start to fall away. And so I tried to make it individual for Liz, and then, you know, in terms of what the script gave me to do. And they were clever with Liz because they never specified what type of dementia it was. they were vague, because as you know, there's Lewy bodies disease, there's a number of different types of dementia, and so they just kept it a bit vague and generalised. So yeah, I did a little bit of research, and then the writers did research, so you know, you kind of collaborate and do that together. But there was some really, it was hard. There were some moments where you're just like, wow, it's really letting go of all these faculties and being conscious that you're losing them as you go. And I believe there can be periods of time where people are very agitated before the dementia gets more serious, when they're so forgetful that they forget they have dementia. There's an agitated period because they're going, fuck, I can't remember it. And I think Liz went through that too, you know, like, fuck, I'm losing it. So it was really hard. It was very, very challenging and sad and moving and
You did a good job.
Oh, and can I just a show of hands, people who have been touched with dementia in their lives? See, look at that. That's huge. It's huge, isn't it? Yeah. Big love to everyone. Yeah. Hi, darling.
Hi, my name is Alice. I'm from Rainy Springs, California.
Hi.
And I'm next to dovetail lady before me.
Yep.
I've been a nurse for over 34 years, and I just want to thank you for the respectfulness that you gave the dementia. Because a lot of times when people do dementia, they don't give it respect. And it's not done with the respect of the stages that they go through. And you really took us on a journey of a truthful, what dealing with a dementia patient is like. And I just wanted to thank you for the honesty that you put in that character.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and again, you know, that's kudos to the writers because they did really fabulous research and had to kind of pitch it over a period of time. And they also, you know, put in the storyline a whole stuff about the drugs that she was on, the new regime of drugs, which I believe is true too. There's a period of time where certain drugs will work, they'll be effective for a certain period of time, and then they become ineffective over time. So there is still no cure, and it's a really extraordinary, debilitating disease, as we all know.
Hello, I'm English. I'm from Sydney, Australia. I'm a little nervous, you know. I can't imagine how you feel.
Oh, I'm all right now. I was nervous before. Now, I'm warming up a bit now.
I just want to say thank you for your brilliant, beautiful work. Now I'm getting a bit teary. I wanted to ask you, how did you prepare for, unless you were actually shit-faced on set?
The drunk scene?
Yes. How did you prepare for that?
No, I didn't. I don't know. I guess it's like, you know? You know what? I had the most fun doing those scenes. Look, the irony is I'm not a drinker. I have been drunk in my young years, but I'm just not. I'm a highly allergic person. It's such a rip-off. The only thing I can drink is expensive French champagne. You know what I'm saying? I got really expensive teas. But I get really allergic. So it was interesting because there's this bit of a lie that goes around performing circles, that when you've got to play drunk, you pretend you're not drunk. People who are drunk pretend they're not drunk. And I'm like, no, they don't. Have you ever met a drunk person, unless there's a specific reason why they're trying to pretend they're sober? Most people who are pissed are, no. They're just tired. And so I thought, that's not right. And Liz is so, at that point in the series where everything was kind of colliding into a particular situation for her, I certainly just embraced the looseness. I think from a physical perspective, you kind of allow yourself to, you know, your core. And your balance shifts a little bit. And it's something to do with a visual thing. My eyes, you just don't open them fully. slow. If someone speaks to you, just a bit slower. I reckon most people can play drunk. But I've always hated that thing that when you play drunk, you have to play sober. Hey, it's totally wrong. Anyway, great question. Hello.
Hi, Celia. Hi, Angel. My name's Megan. I'm from LA, so it's just like a 15-minute drive here. My question is, how did you prepare yourself for the very last scene with Katrina?
Have you all got tissues? It was full on, wasn't it? Full on. How do you prepare for that? Oh, God. You don't really. The preparation I did for that scene was to do with the stroke, because she suffered a stroke, as you know, and ended up with what's called locked-in syndrome. I don't know if you know about that. Pardon? Someone said, yeah, locked-in syndrome. Thank you. Stop. So locked-in syndrome is a really, really devastating condition post-stroke, because you are completely compass and lucid, but you cannot move at all. Usually, in fact, I had a chat to the directors about this, that I should have had a trachea in the nurse, it's a lovely nurse con, because you can't swallow and stuff yourself. It's such a debilitating stroke. But you're fully alert and awake, and the only thing you can really do is communicate when you breathe. So I listened to watch these YouTube things, and it was just that kind of that was the. So I did research in terms of that, but for the day itself, Katrina and I are so connected, and she's just like my sister and my daughter and my friend, and so there wasn't really a huge preparation. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, I was lucky just to lie there. Katrina in that scene was amazing, and when the camera was on her, I was fucking sobbing. And I wasn't meant to sob because you can't. You know what I'm saying? So when the camera came back on me and she's doing it again, I'm going. I was like the tears are welling up. It was hard, it was really hard. But I think it was harder for her than me. Because Liz at that point really is ready to die. And again, you know, Liz has the dementia, and then it brings up issues of euthanasia, what your thoughts and feelings are about terminally ill patients having the right to choose whether they can live or not. In Australia, it's still a really contentious issue. I don't know about the laws here in the States. So it's a really, I found that really profound, that she forces Boomer to do this for her. And Boomer, of course, is unwilling initially, and then she decides to help her. But it's a great question. There was research prep for the stroke, the symptoms of the stroke, but the actual scene itself, it just happened on the day. And often that's the best. Like, you do all your preparation, you do everything you can, and then when you get to set, you let it all go, and you're just in the moment with the person. And that's, I think, where the magic happens. But yeah, it's very big scene, eh? Big scene. It's very sad. Great question. It's a bit sad, isn't it? Very sad.
Hi, Celia. I'm Reese from Washington, D.C.
Hi.
My question is a little complex. So I love your new show, Total Control.
Oh, wow, you've been watching it.
Yeah, and
Great show.
Melman is such a dynamic, strong character, as well as how Danielle was on Wentworth.
Yes.
And they always say there's a great roles for women, and you've stumbled into 2 shows with great roles for women. So how do you feel working on this?
Oh, really lucky, really privileged and lucky. And it was lovely to do the role, I've forgotten her name, Tracy Hellier, who's really just a political secretary in the office. And it's only a very tiny role, but I did it because I was really keen to break away from Liz, because I finished filming Liz at the end of July last year. So, and then I started filming on Total Control in March, and it was good to kind of look different and have a different take on things. Is there a baby here? Where's the baby? Where's the baby? I love babies. Put her on the stage. So yeah, I feel very, very lucky and very privileged. But you know what? For the ladies in the room, there's the zeitgeist. There is a change afoot. You must feel it here in the States too. Yeah. Much more content that's female-driven, production female, directed by females, and it's long overdue. But the next thing is pay parity. Yeah. Women getting paid the same as men. Across the board. Thanks for the question. It's been great. I've been very lucky. Yes.
Next question.
Hello.
I'm Wendy from Adams, Minnesota. And I just want to give a shout out to my son Jamie from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, because he gave me a surprise gift of bringing me here.
Jamie. Is he up there? Where's Jamie?
Stand up.
Oh, good on you, Jamie. What a good son. He's a good boy.
I was just wondering, at what point did you find out within the show that you would be dying off here?
Well, that's actually a really good question. So, this is interesting. What happened was, season 7 was kind of sort of going to be the last season. And the Foxtel producers and so forth came down while we were filming season 7 and said, guys, we're going to leave it at the end of 7. And we were like, oh, really? Oh, and they said, yeah, we think it's time. Then what happened was we had a whole series of awards and things. And we won a lot of awards and things. Which was fantastic. And the producers, and they made the right decision, decided to keep it going. But that was like 6 months after we finished filming season 7. The reason in bringing that up is they had always decided Liz would die at the very, very end. And at that stage we thought 7 was going to be the very, very end. However, I wanted to go. So it was actually to do with me, ultimately, because they would have reshot the ending of 7. But I said to them, you know what, guys, this journey in 7 for Liz is so perfect and complete. She reunited with her boy, she dealt with the dementia, she lost her beautiful Kaz, she had a stroke. It was like she was ready to leave the building. And so, you know what I mean? And so filming that stuff led me, Celia, to the same end. I have 2 beautiful girls who, with my beautiful husband, who were living in Sydney. I was back and forth, and by 7 seasons I was really like, enough now. And I was so grateful. I've had the best time of my life.
We enjoyed every
Yeah, well, thank you, darling. But that's how that came about, because originally they were probably thinking of bringing her back for a couple of episodes, but I came to them and said, you know, guys, and the producer cried and the head writer was crying, and I said, I feel the same, but I think it's the right time, because if I come back, you're just postponing the inevitable. It's going to happen anyway, and there was such a huge... Pardon? Oh, she's back. She's a cat with 9 lives. She keeps coming back, doesn't she?
Was that added when they just... Cause like,
No. They knew, I think, for a long time that Pam would come back. Yeah. That was, and you know what? Remember too, that it was always ambiguous. No one ever really knew if that was her DNA. And that weird, remember the female guard? What was her name? Oh, she's funny, that girl. Who? Murphy. I knew you guys know the show, didn't you? That is very embarrassing. But anyway, so that was it. Thank you for the lovely question. Thank you for the love. And yes, the bottom line was, I kind of wanted to go. Do you agree? Yeah. Have I made the right decision? I think so. Because what would you have done with her? Like seriously, you bring her back and she'd have a couple more psychotic episodes and then it felt perfect. It was the right time.
My last name is Murphy.
Murphy!
And I cried when you died.
I did too watching it. Isn't that weird? You watch yourself and you go, and you know what? Oh, this is really full on. I looked so much like my beautiful mum. Because I was with her when she died. Not gonna cry. Not gonna cry. But yeah, so it was powerful stuff. Thank you, darling. Thank you so much. I can see you guys. It's so bright. I can see a few faces in the front, but you're all really well backlit. You look like a halo. You all look like you're in heaven. These little angels.
You seen the dogs?
The dogs? The dog.
Dogs.
They're real dogs. Oh, I'd like to go down.
Do you want to bring them up, or?
Has Tammy saw
We're going to pause for the pause. And yes, these dogs have VIP tickets. I know what you guys are thinking. Front row, huh?
I have to warn you, Tammy is the dog lady. So she's really the whole thing is going to be about the dogs. Yes, hello.
Hi, I'm Kimberly from Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, Tom.
And we all love you. My question is, your scene when Bee finds out who the boyfriend is, you're in the laundry and she goes, and you had to yank her hair back really hard. How do you guys plan for that? I mean, how do you prepare
they
for
usually
that?
do.
And did you really pull her hair?
No. I can't even remember that. So this is the thing. Well, you know, I'm going to make a gag that Liz has dementia. Girls before I came out here, I said, if I keep forgetting things, and I'll just say, oh, Liz has dementia. It's a bit of an old gag. Great question. Usually there's a stunt rehearsal, and I have so little of it. It's a good question for Tammy and Dan. I don't think Libby did any stunts. But basically, I might just demonstrate on you. Yeah, you don't have a lot of hair. But basically what you would do is you kind of grab like at the bottom of the neck. You don't grab the hair. You just put your hand through it. And then they go, they know they've got to move back with you. So there's it was so unexciting, wasn't it? It was such a bad demonstration. You can tell I didn't do many stunts. Tammy and Dan were great at them, and Nicole were amazing at them. Far out. I think they injured themselves a few times too. I was always really relieved that I didn't have to do stunts. Not my bag. I did get to punch Boo's mother, which was... One moment. Yeah, you rehearse it. So basically there's a lot of rehearsal so that you choreograph it. Yeah.
We love you.
Thank you. Thanks.
So just so you guys know, we have about 10 minutes or so left. So if we breeze through these, I think we can try to get to everybody. We'll do our best, okay? Let's...
Hi, I'm Kristen. I'm from Massachusetts. I have a couple of questions. One is, do you wish that your character had been able to reconnect with Sophie over at Barnhurst before you go?
Very good question. Yes, I did. And I asked the writers and they never did anything about it. I think because they wrote her in to season 3, they wanted to focus on the son this time. Yeah, it was my first question was, oh, hang on, where's Sophie? What happened to Sophie? Where's Barnhurst? There was often things like that. There'd often be things that would happen and you go, where did they go? Like, weren't they in in, what do you call it, Solitary or whatever? Oh God, I can't remember. I've been holding it together the whole time and I'm actually really, really drunk. It's hot. Yes, no, people would disappear. Yes, so no one asked that very same question. And they just made it about the boy. Yeah, the son.
And the next question is, knowing that the freak is still alive, are you happy that your character died so soon?
Yeah, totally. Yes, that's a good question, yeah. How do you feel about the freak being alive? There's a bit of a rumbling over this part of the night. Not good? I mean, I guess it could be. See, this is it. Is B really dead? I think she is. But you know what? They've got another 20 eps and there's some really great girls working on it. I mean, you guys are going to, it's going to be amazing. Really good, really good. So, I want to be in. Yeah. Hi, darling.
Hi. My name's Casey. I'm from Clarion, Pennsylvania. I'm here with my gorgeous mother.
Hi, beautiful mom. Oh,
we actually just finished watching the last episode in our room, and I'm not okay.
Oh, it's so fresh.
My grandma passed away of stroke, so that was hard. But
I'm sorry.
I actually want to ask you the same question that I asked Katrina in Jersey. One of my favorite things watching the show is watching how the relationship between Liz and Boomer evolves from the lagging and then back to love and then everything. So I asked her, how does her, as Katrina, feel about the relationship between Liz and Boomer? And I'd like to know your take also on the Liz-Boomer relationship.
Well, as you say, it's really beautifully crafted because it starts out, they tolerate each other, and then Boomer bashes Liz for lagging, and she knows she's going to bash her, and she cops it, and da-da-da. And then it becomes more and more kind of sophisticated and complex. And she does become like her daughter, and I think Boomer feels like Liz is her real mum. And so it's beautiful. It was a luxury to work with Katrina. She's exceptional. And she's so, oh my God, she's so not Boomer. Isn't she? Have you guys met her? Isn't she extraordinary? 6 foot glasses on, and she's so beautiful. She's softly spoken and highly intelligent, and she's always looking at the script and trying to get the meat out of it, and she's exceptional to work with. So I just felt really blessed to have her by my side a lot of the time. And but it was hard, those last scenes. We were really devastated. At the end of season 7, I think Katrina and I, apart from anybody really, were the most gutted. Because what we'd gone through, because she lost her mum, remember? Her mum was shot in front of her in the siege, and that was high drama for her. And I said goodbye to my son, don't want you to see me anymore. I didn't remember who Frankie was. So the charting of that, the two women, they just clung to each other. And that's why I think Boomer was so resistant to help Liz die. But then in the end, she gave her what she wanted. But it's heartbreaking, and it's the most beautiful friendship. I don't know if any of you have read Of Mice and Men, but it's like that relationship, I think. And the Steinbeck novel, which has the big guy, the kind of lumbering... Lenny. Thank you. Yeah, so it's a beautiful reflection on that, I think, that sort of these partners who are so different, but who end up finding each other. And I think the reality in the prison is that people come and people go, so there's this cycle of departures and arrivals, and those two were together for such a long time, because they're the OG, like Boomer and Liz were. So it was beautiful, and I can tell you this, Katrina I'm sure won't mind, that going back to season 8 to film has been really challenging for her, because we've had lots of conversations, and I'm saying, it'll be fine, honey, it'll be all good, but she's found it hard, because she's missing her mum and missing our energy on set. And you get a shorthand with people. like Tammy and I, all of us, and Dan, like, you get so smooth with each other when you work with people that intensely for that length of time, that you kind of have this shorthand, and it's such a privilege, really. But great question, I hope I've answered it. I've been rambling.
Yes, you did.
Beautiful question.
And my mom wanted to know if you could call us fat-ass babies.
I wish I had loose pants on. Remember the trousers? It's such a rude thing to say. Do you know what they were going to let me do that line? And Katrina and I were like, what? They thought Katrina would be upset about it. And so I said to Katrina, they want to cut the line and da-da-da. And she was like, oh, that's fucking ridiculous. I then had a chat to the director and writer on the day and said, these guys, come on, this is their culture, this is the way they behave. So we kept it in, and I think I changed it slightly. You fat ass babies. So you guys say ass. We say ass. You don't have a fat ass. You don't. No, neither do you. You fat ass baby. Remember that line? You guys are amazing. So good. Hello.
Hello.
This is actually going to be our last question, guys, so
My
you
name's
guys can
Al.
sit. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry. My name's Alan from Birmingham, UK.
Slot podcast.
The slot.
The slot. No,
I wanted to know, Liz has left a huge legacy on the show, and you gave so much to Liz. But what did Liz give to you, and what's Liz's legacy to you as an actor?
Wow, what a question, darling. What is Liz's legacy to me? I don't know. I don't actually know. I think you become the one thing. You become fused. So I don't see her as separate to me. Does that make sense? Yeah. I think when you are inside a character for that length of time and travel that journey, which has huge highs and huge lows, you kind of fuse with them. So I think we probably just gently encouraged each other along the way, fed each other along the way. As an actor, the gift of playing her, not as Celia, but the gift as an actor, was I said to myself at the beginning of this season 1, this job for me, if I'm lucky, is going to make me a better actor, a better person, but also really confident in front of a camera, so that there's very little difference between an action and just living normal life. Does that make sense? So that was a really key thing for Celia as an actor. And so the luxury of playing Liz was that she forced me to do that, because she was extremely relaxed and very real and very truthful. And so I couldn't be nervous and stiff and agitated, and do you know what I'm saying? So that was lovely, to play a character who was very comfortable in her own skin, because it forced me as an actor to be that way. So there you go, I kind of have answered the question.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank all you guys for the great questions. Do you have any parting thoughts for these folks? Do you have any parting thoughts?
Do I have any parting thoughts? Do you guys have any parting thoughts? Yeah, like really 7 seasons. It's big, isn't it? And you've got another 2 coming. But I think hang in there, you know, because the wonderful thing about the show, which I think is significant to remember, is that it's about the prison. It's about the prison. So it's a revolving door of characters. So don't, if you can, don't get too disheartened by what you've lost, because you'll gain something else, yeah? I mean, that's true of life. So don't hang on. You let it go, surrender, and then, there'll be something else that picks you up along the way. Thank you.